This is painted black, like I said. These stripes are painted the interior green. This is glued on, just right like that. Glue it in place with the. I use the like the tester's glue is for plastic models. Use it sparingly. If you use too much, you can start melting this and getting some warping. Just use it really lightly. It'll glue it to each other. You can always try to use CA if you rough the area up. And then we'll finish these out and glue these radio boxes on top. All right. But like I said, once you get all that done, this just locks right into place. It actually fits over the lip. Let's see if I can. The lip actually overlaps the front cockpit just by a little bit. But that helps make this area rigid. And like I said, we're going to come in here and we're going to tie this front cockpit to the rear, and then that will lock with a piece of the ABS, and this will lock it in place, and it will really strengthen it up. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and get it painted, and I'm going to show you where the other resin pieces I have made for the cockpit go, and show you what it looks like. And if I run into anything else, I'll try to go over that as we move along. Okay, here we are with a couple pieces. I want to show you how I put them together while I'm waiting on the cockpit to dry before I install it. Anyway, one thing is the headrest. The headrest is pulled and it's a 1/4 inch thick all the way around. It will have a what I call flashing. You see where it squares off at the bottom all the way around. You will take and cut that off just all the way around and keep it as close to where that where it turned out as possible. And what we're going to do is we're going to take and make a back for it. Once you get it cut out, we're going to have some spare plastic in your kit, and you just take and lay it on here, and don't mash real hard because it'll spread the sides out. So you'll take and you'll trace around that, get it all traced out, and then cut it until your piece fits inside. Okay, it should. It doesn't have to be perfect because what I use is some filler to fill the edges. But anyway, you want it to fit inside. Now, one thing you do have to do is this headrest is angled. So you can see where the angle comes across there. You need to mark it on each side. Lay your piece in and mark it. And then once you got it marked, you're just going to take a straight edge and put the two marks on the line, and then bend it down, and we're going to crease this. Alright, once you've got that part made, we're coming in here, and I'm going to make it a little bit thicker so it becomes a little bit more rigid, and with putting balsa in there, it'll last a little longer. So I got some really lightweight 1/16 inch scrap balsa. That's all it is. We're going to end up taking this and gluing it in place. It does not have to be perfect. It doesn't have to match up exactly. Okay, got those two pieces in. We'll come in here and add a piece here. Like I said, it does not have to fit perfectly. Alright, and then the top piece. So I'm going to glue it in just like that, and then come back and glue this piece on top, and just use regular CA. Alright, once we get all that glued in, that's more or less your piece. Now we'll come back and trim all the excess, any plastic that's left around there. Okay, and once we let that glue set up, then you can take you some putty filler and fill the edges all the way around before you paint it. But that part is pretty easy to make, and once you get it set up, it will glue right in place. All right, the next thing is the radio boxes. There's two that go back on the back part of the canopy, or in the behind the cockpit seat. What I've done is, you can see that this, trying to pull a perfect square is kind of hard because it'll leave a little bit of webbing. Alright, I made the boxes extra thick so the webbing will be a little bit lower. But what we need to do is, I take a piece of scrap, 3/4 inch wide balsa, and just cut it to where it'll fit inside and lay it in there, and take a pencil and mark it. And just keep turning that wood until you've marked it all the way around. Alright. Now you can have marks in there, and we're going to cut this box out. or cut all this flashing off of it, and we're going to do that to both of them. Now, you could glue it in light with this cutout if you want to keep it really light. I would prefer to take once again some 1/16 inch ball, so trace it out, or maybe some 1/8 inch, just some really lightweight stuff, and make it where it fits inside and glue it to the bottom so it gives you a nice solid box. Okay, but once you get that done, it would end up gluing to these slats, especially if you put the glue, the square bottom on. It'll glue right on top of those slats there. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I just want to show you how I did those boxes real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and get them made and go ahead and paint them. These will be painted black. So I'll get that done, and hopefully when I get back I'll have the painted cockpit so we can show how to do the final install on it. Okay guys, I'm back and I've got the whole cockpit painted. I'm going to show you how the small pieces to add, and also put it back together real quick. Anyway, I have several resin pieces that go in here. Here's the cockpit, the main part already together. On all these side panels here, if you hold it at the light sideways, you can see that there's little tiny divots. And those divots are made for toggle switches. Okay, so what you do is you initially come in here, and you do this before you paint it, because if you do it after you paint it, it'll mess up your paint job. Anyway, what you want to do is drill all those holes out with a 3/64 inch bit. Okay, and then once you drill those out, I take a toothpick. These will be supplied in the kit, and what you do is, they're really sharp, and I used to use the sharp ends until I said that looks a little bit too pointed for a toggle switch, but it takes a little practice. But what you want to do is just sand the end off, make it a little bit more blunt, and then round it. It doesn't take much. Then what you'll do is you'll dip that into an aluminum or a silver paint, and I just stick it in foam and let it dry. Anyway, when you get through, you come from the back side and screw those in those holes until you get it out to where you want it, and you can even them all out. And once they're done, I just leave them alone, and I put CA around them and hit them with some kicker to dry that, and then I just clip them off the back. Okay, you can see that there's some here, some in all three panels here. They're really easy to do. The other side, there's 3 across here and 2 on the end. So you just do them all the same way. Alright, there's several resin pieces. There's the flap wheel. This is a resin piece. You just paint it black, glue it on the side here. These are I think the aileron and elevator trim tabs. Anyway, those are provided. One's flat, one's at a slight angle. You can see here where I have got them installed. You just paint them first and then glue them in place. I mainly use just CA glue. Okay, they had some markings on the dials. I just tried to simulate that with a little bit of aluminum paint. The throttle body up here, there will be pins and some aluminum tubing provided. This is pretty much set up. There was a small control on the bottom, one here in the front, and then the main throttle. This throttle here is made out of an 1/8 inch dowel with a 1/4 inch dowel over the top, and you just drill holes in this resin. You can drill holes very easily. I drill a small pilot hole and then come back here with an 1/8 inch, and then up here you want a pretty small hole, because all it needs to do is hold a pin that is provided. Anyway, that's put on, and there is a section on this. You can see on the body here that this fits right on. I made it exact size so you can see where it goes. You can see that the rounded bottom, this goes right there. Okay, the next thing